Okay guys, I am back with another movie review, and this was a movie I had been waiting to see for a while. ATM, 2012 movie. However, it was actually filmed in Canada in like 2010. But for some reason this movie's just had a really hard time getting released. I don't know what the hell was going on, why it couldn't just get a regular release like all the other movies. I've definitely seen worse movies. So I thought it was a decent movie, and I wanted to watch this one because I'm just a fan of the whole survival aspect when you have people in kind of a dire situation like Devil, where they're trapped in the elevator, or there was actually another movie like that where one of the people was a serial killer. Just movies like that where people are stuck in a crazy situation. If you haven't seen the movie Frozen, it's also really good. It's about these two guys and a girl who go up on a ski lift. They pay the guy who runs the ski lift to let them go up one last time, and then something happens, he has to leave, and they get stuck up there where they're about to freeze to death, and all types of crazy stuff happens. But it was a really good movie and also had a low budget. This movie, however, looked like it had a decent budget. It has Josh Peck in it from the Drake and Josh Nickelodeon show. He's the only one I knew. But yeah, it was kind of like the gist of the movie is these people get trapped in one of these ATM rooms, and somebody is waiting outside trying to kill them. That's the entire premise of the movie. We don't know why this guy wants to kill him. We don't know what's going on, but anytime someone comes to help them, they get killed off. So they're trapped in this room, and they have no idea why. So I thought it was a pretty cool movie. That being said, there was a few things that were kind of strange, and there's no real resolution. Nothing gets resolved in this movie. It just kind of ends, but I'll explain what I mean. There are spoilers, of course. But the movie starts and we have the main guy and Josh Peck. I'm just going to refer to him as Josh. And then this girl who the main guy likes. They're at a Christmas party, and he runs up to the girl, and she agrees that she'll let him take her home. So he goes inside to tell Josh he's leaving, and Josh says, well, you're supposed to take me home. So he's got to take him home, but he doesn't want to, so he says, well, can you get a cab? And he's like, I don't have any money. And he says, well, I don't have any money either. So they ask a group of friends, and nobody has any money. And the ironic thing is they work in a bank or a financial office or something like that, and no one has any money. So that's the first thing I'm just shaking my head at. But Josh is kind of an annoying character. So him, the girl, and Josh are leaving. He wants to go get some pizza or some crap. So he doesn't have money. They don't take debit cards, so he's got to stop by the ATM. For some reason, they park really far away. Like really far away. I don't know why. They have to walk up to the ATM machine. They go inside. And then they see this guy. They turn to leave. They all go in, and then when they turn to leave, they see this guy in kind of a furry hood, big jacket, staring at him. He's got a thing over his face. We never see the killer's face. Even at the end of the movie, we never see his face. And he's just staring at him, and they don't know what he wants. They think maybe he's waiting to use the ATM, so they open the door and they say, hey buddy, you want to use the ATM? He doesn't respond. So when they go to walk, he starts to walk towards them. This was really cool. Eventually, he cuts off the heat. Now, like I said, they were at a Christmas party. It's almost Christmas. It's very cold, and they are about to freeze to death in this place with the heat on. But now the killer has gone around to the back and cut the heat off in the building. They think maybe he wants money, so they try to bribe him. The main guy goes out and leaves an envelope full of money and stuff, and then he tries to make a dash to the car. When he gets in the car, the killer has cut the wires, so he can't drive the car and escape. Another guy shows up to use the ATM. Killer bashes his head in. Then a security guard shows up. He gets killed. For some reason, he also parked really far away. But security guard gets killed. And then another guy just comes into the place, and I'm like, oh shit, it's the killer. And the other two guys, Josh and the main guy, beat him up, and they kill this man. And then they take the hood off his jacket, and we find out it wasn't even the killer. It was just some guy wearing the same jacket. So the killer's still out there. Josh tries to escape. He's had enough. He's freezing to death. He tries to make a run for it, and he gets knocked on a fishing line that the killer has set up. So he's running, and it just clotheslines him, and then the killer stabs him with something. For a while, they kind of made you think maybe Josh has something to do with this, because he said that his credit card didn't work. However, you need that to get into the building. And they never really explained that, but he didn't have anything to do with it. And then they kind of make you think maybe the girl has something to do with it, but she didn't have anything to do with it either. So I don't know what was going on in the script here, but eventually they look outside and they see that Josh is still moving. So the two of them run out, grab him, bring him back in while the killer's messing around behind the building. The killer rolls their car up to the front and blocks the door so they can't escape. He goes around back and puts a hose in, so he starts to fill the ATM booth up with water, trying to drown them. And then he just goes and sits in a chair and watches. So the guy and the girl, they find a lighter in the dead guy's jacket. They light a bunch of papers on fire in a trash can, and they hold it up to the sprinkler to set it off so it can sound an alarm and they can possibly get some help. The girl stands on his shoulders to reach it, and after it goes off, she falls and hits her head, and she dies. That's it, really. Josh is floating in water. He eventually dies. The killer just drives the security guard's car into the other car and just breaks the entire building, the whole place. We see a bunch of cop cars showing up. Or, excuse me, before that happens, the last guy left takes a liquor bottle that Josh had, and he makes a Molotov cocktail. And he goes out, and we see the killer supposedly sitting in the chair who was watching the whole thing, and he just tosses it and catches him on fire, and then we see it was the security guard propped up. So then the killer comes towards him, but the cops show up. The cops arrest the main guy. They don't find the killer. They're watching the camera footage, and you can't ever really see the killer, so it kind of does look like the main character was a little nuts. And then the last thing we see is the killer walking to a storage unit, which he has set up, and he's got all these plans for the ATM, the entire operation, and then he starts to plan a new one to do it again. So at the end of the movie, since that's the last thing we see, there was really, like I said, you never see the killer's face. It was nobody they knew. There was no real reason. They were just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and this guy is just some psychopath who plans out these ATM murders. At least that's what I got from it. So overall, I have to say I was a bit disappointed with the ending. However, I thought they did a good job building it up. They had some good suspense. They built up the suspense. Not the best movie ever. When I saw the trailer, I expected it to be a whole lot better. But, you know, I finally got to watch the movie, and I have to say it wasn't bad. If this sounds like a cool movie to you, or you like those movies like Devil or Frozen or anything like that, I would recommend this. I thought it was a fun movie, and it was only like an hour and 30 minutes. So yeah, definitely check this one out, ATM, and leave your thoughts on it in the comments below. So that's it, guys. I hope you liked this review, and thanks for watching.